What's up guys, Mr. Tom2304 here today to review Bleach Volume 55, The Blood Warfare. Before we begin, I'd like to direct your attention to the description below. I've got a Facebook fan page I've just started up. I'm new to this whole thing, but I'd really appreciate if you guys checked it out. If you've got a Facebook account, give it a like. Really appreciate all the support I get from you guys. And we can chat about Bleach on there, you can check out some of my artworks, just the whole shindig. So yeah, really appreciate that as well. You can subscribe to my videos and check out my Bleach 530 review, which I think is there. So yeah, on to the review. Awesome. If you've been keeping up with the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, you'll know that it's an incredible arc of Bleach. Potentially my favourite arc, though I don't think it's been going long enough yet to just about say that. Although with Bleach 530, that's officially 50 chapters of the arc. That's kind of cool. Anyway, Juha Bark on the front cover, although he's actually known as Yawak now, or something like that, in the English romanization, which is weird, but I'll get onto that later. He looks awesome. The dude is imposing, he's dominating, he's covering the entire cover. Admittedly, I wish we had the titles and the number on the front. I mean, we do have the number, but not like the Japanese do. I really wish we had that. But the cover looks nice, and I think actually this cover would suffer if it had the writing on it, because it takes up a lot of the picture. And this is when Kubo starts to go with his whole one colour scheme thing for the covers. And Bark's got a kind of hue of green. He looks really cool, really menacing. I just think it's a great colour. One of my favourite for a long time, since 52, probably my favourite. The poem, however, is a bit weird. It's something like, I can't remember exactly, taking one step forward, never looking back, a sea of blood of the universe. That second line makes little sense anyway. However, I think in the Japanese version, the two lines used to be connected by a connective, by two, I think the word was. The poem makes a lot more sense if you say, taking one step forward and never looking back to a universe, to a sea of blood. Actually, I think the original poem was something like, taking one step forward, never looking back to a universe drenched in a sea of blood. That makes a lot of sense. That's a cool poem. This one is weird. Taking one step forwards, never looking back, a sea of blood of the universe. Weird. The poem has been kind of butchered, I think, because it's originally quite a cool poem. It's quite a hard-hitting poem, a simple poem. That's all we know Bark for at the moment, and I presume when he's guaranteed a second cover, we'll get a poem that's more in-depth. The All-Stars are Ichigo, Uryu, Orihime, Chad, Ivan, who's now called Asgyaro Aburn, and Bark, but he's not named. I think Kurge, who's now known as Quillgate, should have been on there instead of Chad. Poor guy. But it's true, he should have been. Overall, fair enough though. I mean, you can't really say more than that. Bark's not named, so he hasn't got a name. As for the chapter content, really awesome. 480 to 489. It covers basically from the start, the first invasion, all the way to Ichigo and the others duking it out with Kurge in Huecamundo. And I think the thing that hits you first is just the epicness of this final arc. Because it starts off with about 3, 4, 5 colour pages. You get the awesome picture of Miuri, you get the really cool double spread of Ichigo standing there ready to fight with the Sternites in the background, and you just know, wow, here we go. And I'll tell you something else, just to go with this whole epicness, is the art of the volume. It looks really nice, but interestingly, he seems to be going for a different style to that of the Lost Agent. The Lost Agent, in my opinion, has some of the best art in Bleach. However, that comes with a sacrifice. The panels aren't as busy. Backgrounds were scarce at best, and you usually just get like one person's face. That's it in a panel. And it looked really nice, but he sacrificed busyness for looking nice. Whereas, feel free to disagree with me, but I think in this arc, and you can see it straight away, the panels are busier, there's lots of characters in plenty of the panels, and I think he's doing better for backgrounds as well, and I think maybe he's sacrificing detail in some places for busyness. I like this, I think it looks really nice. and it packs the manga a bit more. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me. I think the panels do look busier though, and I think it comes across really nicely. As for the story, it's just great. We get the initial invasion, Sasakibe's death, him getting impaled. We get his cremation, which just starts off this whole Yamamoto mini arc, which obviously culminates with his death in 511, which isn't until volume 58, which isn't for a while. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, really cool. The story. You finally get the introduction of Vandenreich and the Quincy's. It's kind of weird actually, because Hashvald gets introduced in this volume, and I'd never really noticed this before, but he's very strange to look at. White hair, white clothes, white skin. He's not coloured in at all, which is really weird. And it kind of gives him this unfinished look, actually, which I don't think is so bad later on, but when he's standing in the Ice Palace, he looks really weird. Really weird. I know he's got blonde hair, but it's white in the manga, obviously. Really strange. Bark, of course, looks badass in every single panel he's in. The dude dominates every scene he's in. When he first appears, he's just sitting there hunched on his throne. Eisen wishes he could look that cool on a throne. Eisen wishes. And he's my favourite character, Eisen, so, But the Vandenreich makes such an impact, especially when you can compare it to the Lost Agent arc. Even compare it to the Aranka arc. Nothing like this happened in the first volume. They invade, they kill. It's got the best chapter of the volume is 485, in my opinion, Foundation Stones. The Vandenreich have invaded and conquered Huecamundo. Nell's back, Haribel's back. Just a great chapter, and so much is going on. The second half of the volume is dedicated to the Shinigami recuperating, and Ichigo and the others going to Huecamundo to save Donderchaka from the Vandenreich. And we meet Kurge, who's now called Quilgay, which is weird. And I have to say, actually, that rereading it, Kurge is annoying. Really annoying to start with. I like him much more from the next chapter, 490, when he goes into his Volston dig and the rest of his fight. I much prefer him to this original Kurge, because he kind of underwent a different change in character. In this kind of volume, he comes across as one of those kind of androgynous characters that's a bit strange. He's got the whole black upper lip going on, and you kind of imagine him speaking in kind of a squeal, a high-pitched kind of whine almost. Later on, I think he becomes a lot more sinister, especially when he goes into the Volston dig, and when he starts absorbing Aeon, he becomes way cooler. As the fight intensifies, he's just a bit annoying in this first section. But aside from that, I find it very hard to critique this volume. If I had to critique it, if I had to give you guys some criticism on the volume, it would be the English names. But Juha Bark is now Yawak? How do you pronounce that? Yhwach. I've heard that you pronounce it You-Walk. Why can't they just keep it Juha Bark? Where'd they even get Juha Bark from? I kind of heard that it was originally Juha, one word, and they thought that sounded stupid, so they gave him two names, Juha Bark. So yeah, that's weird. Obviously, though, he's not named in this volume, and neither is Hashvald, whose now name is Hashwolf, or something like that. I have no idea. Ivan is now Aburn, Kurge is now Quilgate, and I think that none of them are improvements. It makes me wonder what they're going to do to the Sternritters, because they got some wacky names. Nanana, Bambietta, Asnot, Busby. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's kind of it for the volume. Really great stuff. 9 out of 10. If you don't have any Bleach volume, pick this one up if you've read up to this part, of course. It's just an awesome one to have in your collection. And I really don't have a lot bad to say about it, apart from the names. That's it, really. Thanks a lot, guys. I would show you the cover, but it'd probably affect my copyright, so I'm not going to do that. Thanks a lot, guys, though, for checking out my video, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to check out my video, like I said, and please like my Facebook page and subscribe to my videos. And give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this volume. Do you agree with me on the art? What do you think of the Vandenreich's introduction? What do you think of the pace? And the returning characters? So apart from that, see you guys later.